Hi there, Chris here with a quick little video for you all. Today, on the 21st of July 2023, Warhammer Legends is returning for Warhammer 40,000, and I'm very excited because, well, I have a few models that have not been updated for 10th edition, and of course with the Legends, we are going to be able to play with these long-forgotten, kind of out-of-production type of models, and for me, I'm an avid Aeldari player, and this Legends field manual obviously has our points values, and I am Aeldari, and so, I kind of, I was very curious to see when these models got an update, and thankfully they have. Legendary units is largely just about the chaos and everything like that, so I'm going to just concern myself with the Aeldari, and yeah, they look pretty darn cool. So get things started. The Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix Bomber has been one of my favorite models. I have 4 of these models, I think. Yeah, 4 of these models from Forge World. And yeah, I like that they have the little Warhammer Legends up on top. For everybody out there who likes printing their own cards and everything like that, I mean, this is a very good opportunity. I wonder if these are going to be included in the app. I wonder if the app will get updated with these things. I don't know. I haven't checked the app today, so as of recording of this video. So the Phoenix, movement 20+, not unusual. Toughness 9, actually it's pretty decent. 3-up save, pretty darn good. 16 wounds, 16 wounds is not too bad. It's not too heavy. These planes in previous editions were quite powerful, probably a little too powerful. I think when they first came out, they were just like overwhelming firepower, but that's kind of the motif for Eldar, so I don't really know why anybody's really kind of up in arms about these things, because Eldar has always been, high firepower, but cannot weather the return fire, as it were. And yeah, so 16 wounds with a little skull beside it. Oh, because it's got the, if it's one is down to its last 5, it affects its profile. Leadership 6, OC 0, because it's a plane. It can't control objectives, right? So, weapons are Phoenix Missile Launcher Array, got Blast, 48 inches, D6 shots, not bad, hitting on a 3, Strength 6, -1, doing 2 damage apiece. Respectable. Phoenix Pulse Laser, 48 inches, 4 shots, hitting on 3, Strength 10, -2, doing D6 damage apiece. Nice. That's very good. Twin Shuriken Cannons, sustained hits with twin linked, 24 inches, 3 shots, hitting on 3s, Strength 6, -1, doing 2 damage apiece. Yep. With sustained hits, I have become a very big fan. I've actually played a game of 10th edition using my Aeldari, and twin Shuriken Cannons, I really enjoy. I like them, especially on the jet bikes, because some on. Melee weapons, Wraithbone Hull, range is melee, 3 attacks, hitting on 4, Strength 6, no AP, doing 1 damage. Yeah, I mean, that's just in case, somebody flies up and tries to punch it, right? Deadly Demise, D6, Strands of Fate, and Strafing Run. Each time this model makes a ranged attack that targets a unit that cannot fly, add 1 to the hit roll. So this is kind of a throwback to its previous rules, where it got a benefit from attacking from the air against ground targets. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Void Dragon Phoenix Bomber that it had a bonus because it was equipped with like star cannons and everything like that. It was really kind of anti-infantry kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, with Strafing Run, very cool. Strafing Run. I think it was called Strafing Run too. Adding 1 to the ground targets, which I think is pretty handy. So, Phoenix Bombers, you weren't really dogfighting with this thing. It was, it's a bomber. It was a bomber, and bombers bomb the ground. So yeah, this thing was, for, hitting units on the ground. 1 to 5 wounds, subtract 1 to the hit. Yeah. Keywords: vehicle, fly, aircraft, Phoenix, Aeldari. Any options? No options. No, Phoenixes typically did not have options, although there are 2 variants of the Phoenix Bomber. One was more kind of Corsair oriented, and the other one was more Craft World oriented. The Corsair one had star cannons, whereas the Craft World one had a pulse laser, and both of them had missiles and shuriken cannons. So yeah, they weren't terribly differentiated. It'd be kind of nice though if this one did have the option for replacing the pulse laser with star cannons, but what are you going to do? I would assume that they would have covered Phoenix's both variants, but apparently not. So yeah. Vampire Raiders next, 20-inch move, toughness 12, not bad. 3-up save with a 4 invulnerable. only against range attacks, but I mean, you know, if you're punching this thing out in close combat, all the power to you, I think. 30 wounds, nice. Leadership 6, OC 0, of course. It's got the scatter laser and twin pulse laser, and it is twin linked. Scatter laser is 36 inches, 6 shots, hitting on 3, strength 5, no AP, with doing 1 damage. The twin pulse laser is 48 inches, 3 shots, hitting on 3s, strength 9, -2, doing D6. Not bad at all. Now, this the Vampire Raider, for everybody not familiar, Vampire Raider is the troop transport of this large aircraft. Abilities are Deadly Demise, D6 +2, and Hover. Pretty darn cool. Yeah, you don't really want to be around this thing. This thing's a big model, and that Deadly Demise area is going to be quite large. Strands of Fate, it gets the benefit from Into the Foe. If a unit disembarks from this transport before it moves until the end of that turn, that unit is eligible to charge in which it advanced. That's pretty cool. Now, the old rules for this thing used to be it could carry, I think, 30 troops, which is quite huge. And also not really that big, because considering that how big this model is and how skinny Eldar are. Because, you know, their bums are pretty narrow. So, you know, I'd imagine you can get quite a few seats in their craft. But anyway, damaged, it is when it's on its last 10 wounds. It's a subtract 1. Vehicle, Fly, Aircraft, Titanic, interesting, Transport, and Vampire Raider. And War Gear options, none. This used to have War Gear options. You know what, the Raider, I'm not familiar if it had the missile launchers underneath it, because there's hull-mounted missile launchers in the Hunter variant. But anyway, Vampire Raider, this model is equipped with Scatter Laser, 2 twin pulse lasers, and Wraithbone Hull. Oh, so it's got 2 of these pulse lasers, twin pulse lasers. Yeah, okay, the model, yeah, it's got that. So yeah, it's on one on each wing. Transport, this can transport 30 Aeldari infantry models. Each Wraith construct model takes up 2 model space, and it cannot transport jump pack troops. Okay, that's what it was before. The Corsair Cloud Dancer Band. This is the Corsairs on jet bikes, and this unit used to get various options. You used to get like a Sonic Lance or something for the jet bike. I never had any of these models, never fielded them, never played with them. So, you know, I'm not that familiar with them. These aren't anything that I was particularly looking forward to, but I do have these Forge World Corsairs. I just don't have the jet bikes. But anyway, movement 14, toughness 4, 3 up save, 2 wounds, leadership 6, OC 2. Yeah, okay, pretty standard for a jet bike thingy. Brace of pistols, assault and pistol, 2 shots, hitting on 3, strength 3, no AP, doing 1 damage. Not bad. It's got assault with pistol. They can take a dark lance, dissonance cannon. It's got devastating wounds, 3 shots, hitting on 3, strength 6, -1, doing 2 damage apiece. 24-inch shot with devastating wounds on these bikes, 3 shots. That's quite a few opportunities for that devastating wounds to kick in. Also, the dissonance. Anyway, it's got the pistols. It's got devastating wounds and his pistol. Similar profile, only doing 1 damage though, and it's only 1 shot. Scatter laser, shuriken cannon, splinter cannon, and twin shuriken catapults. Okay, and close combat weapon and void saber. I assume these dissonant pistols and the void saber, I assume these are for the Felarch in the unit. They also have Scout, and they have Reckless Abandon. You can target this unit with the Heroic Intervention stratagem for 0, and can do so even if you have already used that stratagem on a different unit this phase. Very interesting. They're mounted, they have grenades, Anrath, which is the Corsairs for Aeldari. Corsair Cloud Dancer Band. Yeah, so these are the jet bikes. They basically are Eldar jet bikes, but they have crazy weapons on them because, you know, Eldar. War gear options. Any number of models in the unit can use their twin catapult replaced with the following: 1 dark lance, 1 dissonant cannon, 1 scatter laser, 1 shuriken cannon, or 1 splinter cannon. The Cloud Dancer Felarch can be equipped with one of the following: the pistol or the void saber. The unit composition is 0 to 1 Felarch, 3 to 6 Cloud Dancers. Every model is equipped with a brace of pistols, shuriken catapult, and a close combat weapon. Not bad. I never used them, so I wasn't really kind of butthurt that they didn't get a data sheet when the game was released. This one here, the Vampire Hunter, I do own this model, and it's from Forge World. It's one of my pride and joy babies in my collection. And yeah, I've played with this model a few times on the tabletop, especially in Apocalypse games where it's performed very, very well. And in fact, it's probably rightly feared. I've lost it in battle, but it's gotten shot down. But anyway, movement 20, toughness 12. Was the Raider 12 as well? I think it was. 3 up save, 4 invulnerable, only against ranged attacks, 30 wounds, leadership 6, and OC 0. Okay, pretty standard because this thing is a giant flying anti-air or anti-ground kind of vehicle. It's got the scatter laser. This is a weapon that's equipped in its nose. It's 36 inches, 6 shots, hitting on 3, strength 5, AP 0, doing 1 damage apiece. Not bad. Twin pulse laser. This is twin linked, 48 inches, 3 shots, hitting on 3, strength 9, -2, doing D6 damage. Okay. Twin vampire pulsar, twin linked. This is 60 inches. It's 3 shots, hitting on 3s, strength 12, -3, doing 4 damage apiece. Not bad. That's not bad at all. That's not bad. That's fairly reliable. 3 shots, twin link, so you get to re-roll it. Strength 12, though, I mean, like, you know, you're most likely going to be hitting, you know, larger targets and vehicles and things like that. You're not usually, you know, wasting this on infantry or anything like that. Melee, it can defend itself in melee. Deadly Demise, D6 +2, and it's got hover. Very nice. Can benefit from Strands of Fate. Excellent. Titan Hunter. Each time a ranged attack made by this model is allocated to a monster or vehicle model, re-roll a damage roll of 1. Not bad. That's not bad at all, considering that most of the time you're going to be wounding most things on a 3 up, so making it a 2 up. Or re-roll the damage, excuse me. Oh, it's re-roll the damage, not re-roll the wound. So, yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. On its last 10 wounds, it is a -1. It is a vehicle, fly, aircraft, Titanic, and vampire hunter. Not bad. Not bad at all, but I don't know. I think this thing is probably going to count as having the twin pulsars or twin pulse lasers. Whereas the model itself, they always seem to forget this. The model itself has a scatter laser in its nose. It has missile bays under its hull, and it has the pulsar weapons. It's only ever had those 3 weapons in its life. So I'm not sure why they give it twin pulse lasers, because I think they're probably giving it the scatter laser and pulsar, and that's it. But anyway, let's read on and find out. Were your options? None. Okay, so it is equipped with the pulse lasers and the pulsar. That's interesting. That's interesting that they went that route. I'm not sure if that is a good call, because it has like the model itself does not have the twin pulse lasers. It has the pulsars. Those are undeniably present on the model, and the scatter laser in the nose is there if you know where to look for it. The front end looks like a Falcon grav tank, and it's got the scatter laser right where the shuriken cannons or the catapults would be. But anyway, the twin pulse lasers. Yeah, I don't understand why, because that's not modeled anywhere on the plane itself. And I'm not sure why that's included on its profile these days. And I think the last time this model was updated for Legend rules, they did a similar thing where it only had the nose gun and the cannons, and it didn't have its missile bays. If you look under the model, there are missile bays in its body, just like the Phoenix Bomber. And the Phoenix Bomber has its missile rays. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it sometimes. Bone Singer. I have a couple of these models actually. 7-inch move, toughness 3, 6 up save, 4 invulnerable, 3 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. He has the Citronome Shaper. Interesting. It is 2 attacks. It's a melee weapon, hitting on 2s, strength 3, no AP, doing D3 damage. So essentially almost like a Witchblade, except it doesn't have the anti-infantry rule. This guy's a leader, benefits from Strands of Fate. Way of the Shaper is a psychic ability. While this model is leading a unit, Wraith Construct models in that unit have the Feel No Pain on a 6+. Wow. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Is this better than the Spirit Seer? I don't know, but let's read on, I guess. The Bone Singer, while this model is within 3 inches of 1 or more friendly Wraith Construct or Aeldari vehicle units, unless it is leading a unit, this model has the Lone Operative ability. Huh? While this model is within 3 inches of friendly Wraith Construct or Aeldari units, unless it... Oh, I see. Once he's within 3 inches, then he loses his Lone Operative ability, I guess. If he's around Wraith Constructs and Wraith Aeldari vehicles. Yeah. Interesting. It's kind of a funny way to word that. Like, you might as well just give him core lone operative when not leading a unit. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been far simpler and less wordy. The Shaper ability, in your command phase, you can select one friendly Wraith construct or Aeldari vehicle model within 3 inches of this model. That Wraith construct or Aeldari vehicle model regains up to D3 lost wounds. So that's pretty much what he had last edition for his rules. But the inclusion of vehicles is actually kind of nice. So now you can, repair your Vipers, your Falcons, your Fire Prisms, your Scorpion battle tanks. You know what I mean? Like, you can throw some wounds back on these things and, get back into the fight, as it were. Previously, it was only Wraith units that could benefit from that ability. Now it's Aeldari vehicles as well, which is kind of handy. Lone operative, ensures that this guy is not going to get picked off on the table. Well, he still can get picked off by snipers, but you know what I mean. But anyway, offering the Feel No Pain on a 6+. I don't know if that's terribly beneficial to a Wraith construct unit. I mean, yeah, like, I assume he's kind of like the Spirit Seer, where he can be attached to Wraith Guard and Wraith Lords and Wraith Blades. Yeah. So war gear options, none. Unit composition, just one model, and all they have is that little Shaper tool, and they have he can lead Wraith Blades, Wraith Guard, and Wraith Lords. Yeah, it's a nice thing. I'm not sure that the Feel No Pain. I mean, like, I'm sure that's going to come in handy. I mean, making, again, taking this guy over taking a Spirit Seer, I don't know. Again, you can't play with these in any kind of official type of capacity. This is more for friendly narrative games. So for anybody out there who has the model, wants to use them, doesn't feel like proxying it as a Spirit Seer, you can go ahead and use it, right? So I don't know. It's not bad, I guess. It's not like the Feel No Pain. I don't know. It feels like they kind of just threw that one on just to, make him, really cool and make people kind of go, should I go with the Spirit Seer or go with the Bone Singer? I don't know, I think it would have been cooler if they would have done it so that he could be included as well. Like, a Bone Singer is not a frontline kind of fighter, and in fact, they're more of a support, and they're more just kind of in the background, keeping their tunes playing. And I think it would have been better if it was more of a lone operative with aura and, automatically units around him who hear the song, they could regain their D3 wounds for wraiths and vehicles. And I think that probably would have, now that I say it out loud, I think maybe that would be too powerful, but I don't know. These are legends, and you're not going to use these in match play. So really, power level is not too big a concern. It is a concern, but it's not too big a concern. But yeah, I'm sure people still lose their minds over this stuff. But anyway, the Wasp Assault Walker, movement 10, toughness 7, 3 up, 4 invulnerable, 6 wounds, leadership 6, OC 2. Not bad at all. Now, the Wasp really was just more a war walker that had a jump ability. And the weapon profiles here all look pretty be the same. He's got the feat abilities. He got Deep Strike. Nice. Benefits from Strands of Fate and Cloud Breaker's special rule. Each time this model advances, do not make an advance roll for it. Instead, until the end of the phase, add 6 to the move characteristic of this model. Yeah, I don't know if that's enough that you would take this over a War Walker. I mean, if you have them in your collection and you want to play with them, obviously, you're going to. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is any better than the War Walkers. Like, okay, you get a bit more reliability on your advanced moves, and you can Deep Strike. But the other one had Scout, so, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a big enough benefit or, to sway anybody to really kind of want to take these. But I guess, for everybody who has them in their collection, the rules are fairly comparable. They got a slightly different flavor to the regular War Walkers. So, it doesn't feel out of place. It doesn't feel too overpowered. So, I don't know. I mean, everybody who owns them, field them. I mean, I'm sure everybody out there who owns the models, we're just taking them as regular War Walkers anyway. But, now at least you can play by your own rules kind of thing. Vehicle, Walker, Fly, Wasp, Assault, Walker. The Fly keyword is kind of nice because that way it gives it some more, little bit of an advantage in moving around and such, especially on the turn you advance and you can really kind of move. But they're not close combat and I guess just for getting out of, danger's way kind of thing, right? Options, scatter laser can be replaced with one of the following, and the shuriken cannon can be replaced by one of the following. Composition is 1 assault walker. This model is equipped with scatter laser, shuriken cannon, and wasp feet. He's equipped with his wasp feet. Strange that he was equipped with his own feet. CORSAIR SKYREAVER band. I believe this is the jump pack variety of CORSAIRs. I think that's what it was, the SKYREAVERs. Movement 14. Yeah, so this is the SKYREAVER. This is the jetpack ones. Toughness 3, 5 up save, 3 wounds. 3 wounds? 3 wounds per guy? Oof. That's quite a few wounds. Leadership 6, OC 1. Ranged weapons, they have the brace of pistols. CORSAIR firearm has the assault and lethal hits. What's a CORSAIR firearm? If this is the one for the las gun, that's going to be kind of hilarious. But anyway, because this is what it sounds like. It's 24 inches, strength, 4 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 4, no AP, doing 1 damage. Yeah, that sounds like it's their old rifle. But it's got assault with lethal hits, which is actually kind of nice. Dark Lance, Dissonant Pistol, Flamer, Fusion Gun, Shard Carbine, Anti-Infantry 3+ Assault. Nice. Shuriken Cannons, Catapult, and Cannons. Splinter Cannons, Anti-Infantry 3+, Heavy, and Sustain hits 1. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. It's heavy, though. 36 inches, though. It's got like good range. Has an AP, too. Not bad. Doing 2 wounds. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. They also have close combat weapons, Sparglaive and Void Saber. The Sparglaive is 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3 up, no AP, doing 1 damage. Void Saber is 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 4, -2, doing 1 damage apiece. I mean, you know, more attacks versus the better AP and higher strength. You know, you take your pick. These guys can deep strike. Skyleap. At the end of your opponent's turn, if this unit is not within engagement range of enemy units, you can remove this unit from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserve. Very interesting. Very, very interesting that these jetpack Aeldari pirates can leave the battlefield like the swooping hogs. But yeah, again, like we're not going to see these things in match play or in tournaments. So, you know, if you've got them, play them, right? I think this is pretty darn good, actually. I'm just trying to think here. I'm trying to think because I've got like 20 of these guys on that I can field onto the battlefield, and yeah, I'm thinking they're kind of good. They're kind of good. The 3 wounds is kind of catching me off because that's a lot of wounds for just a bunch of little duders. Keywords: infantry, grenades, Anrath, Fly, Jump Pack, CORSAIR, SKYREAVER band, Aeldari. Yeah, the 3 wounds thing is kind of messing with me because that's a lot of wounds for somebody who's on foot. And, you know, like even the jet bikes are 3 wounds. And so it kind of makes me wonder, like, is some of these things that they do are they just copy and pasting these kind of things where they're just throw it in there. It'll be good. The Aeldari players, they'll like it. They'll be happy with what they get. Wargear options, any number of models each can have their CORSAIR firearm replaced with one of the following: a Shard Carbine, Catapult, or Sparglaive. Oh, you can make them all close combat. Interesting. So that's why the Sparglaive is why its profile is, because it's everybody can take one. That's interesting. Every 5 models in the unit, one of the CORSAIR fire team can be replaced with one of the following: take the missile launcher, the blaster, dark lance, flamer, fusion gun, shredder, shuriken catapult, or shuriken cannon, or splinter cannon. Interesting. The Felark can be equipped with the pistol or the void saber. Cool. Yeah. They are 0 to 1 Felark and 5 to 10 SKYREAVERs. Every model is equipped with a brace of pistols, CORSAIR firearm, and close combat weapon. Yes, very, very interesting. They might see some more time on the tabletop. Now, here's a model that I do not own. I've always wanted this model, but never gotten the opportunity to get it. And yeah, I kick myself in the rear every time I see it come up, and it's like, oh, dang, I should pick this one up. Oh, well. FIRESTORM, movement 14, toughness 9, 3 up save, 12 wounds, leadership 6, OC 3. Not bad at all. Very respectable, pretty much like a fire prism. This tank, for everybody out there who's not familiar with the FIRESTORM, this is a tank it's a Falcon variant, and essentially the turret is like a big cluster of scatter laser turrets, weapons. And this thing was initially, back when flyers were very dominant on the tabletop, that you needed some anti-air, and so this thing was that answer. It was kind of like the Imperial Guard, or Astra Militarim's Hydra. It's kind of like that. It's an anti-air platform. FIRESTORM Scatter Laser. It's got anti-fly 2+, anti-fly. Very, very interesting. 36 inches, 16 shots. Wow. Hitting on 3, strength 5, no AP, doing 1 damage. Hoof. Man, this thing is just peppering airplanes. That is really cool. I mean, you know, like, you're wounding airplanes on 2+. So, like, even, like, imagine this scenario. This thing's on the tabletop. There's a Thunderhawk gunship flying around, and this thing is just peppering the heck out of it. It's still getting its 3-up save, but holy moly, you're working for all that. I think that's pretty fun. Again, I'm kicking myself in the rear for not getting my hands on one of these models back in the day. And if anybody out in Forge World land is listening, yeah, you guys should make some copies of this and, you know, sell them. I mean, the Legend stuff would still sell. Like, come on, people. I thought you guys wanted to make some money. Shuriken Cannon, sustained hits 1. Yep, very familiar. Twin catapults, assault twin linked. Yep, that's not bad. And then it's got the Wraithbone hull, but I mean, if it's relying on its Wraithbone hull, I mean, you know, it's in a world of trouble. Deadly Demise, Strands of Fate. The fact that it can benefit from Strands of Fate is kind of nice as well. Sky Fire. Each time you target this model with the Fire Overwatch stratagem, just after an enemy unit that can fly starts or ends a normal or advance or fallback move when resolving that stratagem, in addition to shooting the enemy unit, you can select up to 3 other enemy units within 24 inches of that model that can fly. This model can also shoot at each of those units with its Firestorm Scatter Laser, provided each one is an eligible target. But when doing so, an unmodified hit roll of 6 is required to score a hit. That is very, very interesting. Holy moly, this thing is just, basically they're saying you only need one of these on the tabletop. Anybody who likes to bring a lot of flyers, or just anything with fly. That's anything with fly. So that's jump packs, stealth suits, all sorts of stuff. You can just target them and just start spraying laser bolts at them. That's hilarious. Yeah, good thing this is Legends, because yeah, people would lose their minds if this thing was like an official model. Everybody and their cousins would be clamoring to convert and create and proxy and everything like that to make this model. So thankfully, yeah. I don't know if it's ever had that ability, because I've never fielded this thing, so I don't really have its profiles committed to memory as far as, you know, what it can do. I don't recall it ever having this kind of ability where it could just, you know, hit something and then track to another target and go after that as well. So yeah, let me know down below if you guys recall it being able to do something like this in the past. Which edition was that? Because I think this thing has been around since 3rd edition. I want to say 3rd or 4th edition is when this model came out from Forge World. It also suffers from its last 4 wounds, a minus to hit, its vehicle, fly, and firestorm. Yeah, pretty darn cool. Options can swap out its catapult for cannon. Composition is 1 model, and it has the scatter laser and twin shuriken catapult and wraithbone hull. Transport, it can transport still. 6 Aeldari models, each wraith construct takes up 2, and it cannot transport jump pack troops. So it's just like a falcon in that regards. Yeah, very, very cool. AMALLYN SHADOWGUIDE. I believe this is the one from the Warhammer Quest Black Fortress, or Blackstone Fortress. This is that Aeldari character that comes in that little warband. Movement 7, toughness 3. I was wondering where the profile was for this character, because I thought this model was part of the regular line, you know, like they made a profile for him. And so now it's just a legend. Why this model got moved to a legend, I'm not sure, but maybe it's because of availability. Maybe because you can still get Blackstone Fortress. So I have no idea why this model is a legend and not part of the regular line. I have no idea. Save is 5+, 4 up invulnerable, 3 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. Has the Ranger long rifle, has heavy and precision, 36 inches, 1 shot hitting on a 3, strength 4, -1, doing 2 damage. Yeah, okay, that's cool. The model also has the Power Blade, 4 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 4, -2, doing 1 damage. Yeah, it's pretty darn good, you know, other than most Rangers don't have any decent melee weapons, whereas this one does, but this is a character, so I don't know. Core abilities, Infiltrators, Lone Operative, and Stealth. Man, that's pretty darn good. Benefits from Strands of Fate. The path least traveled. If your army includes this model, after both players have deployed their armies and determine who is the first turn, you can select one Rangers unit or Shroud Runners unit from your army and redeploy that unit. When doing so, that unit can be placed into Strategic Reserve regardless of how many units are already in Strategic Reserve. That is pretty darn cool. I don't really remember what in last edition this model could do, but that is pretty darn cool in this edition. And yeah, I mean, like, everybody who has this model, yeah, I mean, like, why not use it, right? For friendly games, not tournaments, you know. I think that's obvious. I think it goes without saying. But anyway, Path of the Outcast. Once per turn, when the enemy unit ends a normal advance or fallback move within 9 of this model, if this model is not in engagement range of one or more enemy units, it can take a normal move up to D6. Yeah, just like the Rangers. Pretty cool. Options, no options. Compositions, just one model. It's an epic hero. The model is equipped with the Ranger long rifle and the power blade. Infantry, character, grenades, epic hero, and AMALLYN SHADOWGUIDE. Pretty cool. CORSAIR band. I believe this is the regular Corsairs on foot, which basically would look like Guardians just with different helmets and different guns and stuff like that. There really wasn't that much difference between them and like the new Corsair models. Far superior. These ones, were just basically bolt-on components onto existing kits. Movement 7, toughness 3, 5 up save, 3 wounds. 3 wounds again. Why do these guys have so many wounds? Leadership 6, OC 2. And they get blasters, brace of pistols, Corsair firearm, dark lens, dissonant pistol, flamer, fusion gun, shredder, sugar cannon, and splinter cannon. They also get close combat weapons, Sparglaive, and Void Saber. Okay, pretty interesting. Abilities, once per turn, when the enemy unit ends a normal advance or fallback move within 9 of this unit, if this unit is not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, it can make a normal move up to D6. Okay, very interesting that they can do that move, that secondary move, when the enemy draws in really close to them. That's very interesting. Infantry, grenades, Anarath, Corsair Reaver band. Interesting. Options, all sorts of options. Any number of models in a unit can replace their firearm with a Sparglaive. For every 5 models in the unit, one of the models with the firearm can replace for any of the heavy weapons. The Felarch can replace or can be equipped with one of the following: the pistol or the Void Saber. So the pistol or Void Saber, that's kind of weak. The Felarch is 0 to 1, 5 to 10 Corsair Reavers. Every model is equipped with a brace of pistols, Corsair firearm, and the close combat pistol, or close combat weapon, excuse me. Corsairs, if a model from your army with the leader ability can be attached to the Corsair Void Reavers unit, it can be attached to this unit instead. Okay, very interesting. So, yeah, anybody who can be attached to the Void Reavers can be attached to this one. Yeah, that's all right. Aeldari, we're done with the units. Yeah, Aeldari Legends Armory, the Aeldari Missile Launcher, Starshot, and Sunburst, Blaster, and Shredder. Those are Dark Eldar weapons. Several Warhammer Legends Aeldari models have the option to be equipped with one or more weapons whose profiles are not listed on their datasheet. The profiles for these weapons are instead listed on this card. Okay. Interesting that the missile launcher is listed here. Did it have a different profile somewhere? I didn't notice. Blaster and Shredder, well, those are typically Dark Eldar weapons, so yeah. But anyway, so that is it. The big ones that I was excited for is the Phoenix and the Vampire Hunter. I'm glad that they have at least rules now that I can actually take these on the tabletop. The Vampire Hunter, I kind of wish whoever team writes these rules, I wish they would stop giving this thing or taking away the missile launchers on this vehicle, because they're in the hull. You can look on the underside of the belly and you can see the missile base is just like the Vampire or the Phoenix bombers. And yeah, I like pulse lasers. Where are those twin pulse lasers on a Vampire Hunter? You show me where they are. I know where the pulsars are, the twin vampire pulsars. I know where that is. But yeah. So anyway, and it says it's equipped with 2 pulse lasers. Like, where is it equipped? The Vampire Raider has them because you can see them on the model. They're on the wings, right? Like they're mounted into the wings, and you know, it makes sense. But yeah, the Vampire Raider or Hunter, yeah, I don't know. The Phoenix Bomber, also, yeah, it also has star cannons because the Corsair variant had star cannons on it, and so there was 2 vampires, and yeah, there should be options to swap out that pulse laser, the Phoenix pulse laser, for the star cannons, because there are many people out there within their collections that have both variants of the Phoenix Bomber, and that should be an option in there, and it doesn't have it. So what's a girl to do? I don't know. But Phoenixes, I'm happy with these rules. They're pretty darn cool. No invulnerable, but I mean, it doesn't really need them. This vehicle has always been able to spit out a ridiculous amount of fire, and with its toughness 9 and 16 wounds, it might survive a turn or 2. It all depends. The fact that it also is a fly and aircraft is pretty darn cool. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's pretty darn cool. This thing is basically come in, just shoot the crap out of you, and well, you can leave or fly around the table and be annoying, or you know, whatever you want, really. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Oh right, we didn't even look at the points. So let's have a look at the points. I was about to end this, and yeah, so. One whole page dedicated to Aeldari points. The AMALLYN Shadow Guide, 75 points. Yeah, not bad. That's all right for character. Actually kind of pricey for character. Bone Singer, 45 points. Kind of like a warlock. Yeah, that's to be expected. The Corsair Cloud Dancer Band. That's the ones on jet bikes. 105 to 245 for 7 models. That's right. Felark +6. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad points. Corsair Reaver Band, these are the ones on foot. 5 models, 125. 11 models, 275. A little bit pricey, but we're talking about models with 3 wounds here, so, you know, it's really not that bad. SKYREAVER Band, this is the jetpack, jetpack ones. This is 5 models, 125. 11 models, 275. Very much pretty much the same as the footed version, considering that they have a better maneuverability and are equipped with essentially the same thing and even have the same amount of wounds. It is kind of interesting that their points values are the same, right? Like, yeah, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. FIRESTORM, 1 model is 115. Yeah, not bad. That's not bad at all. That's pretty much what the old Fire Prism used to cost, and I can live with that. And considering that that gun can target multiple flyers or multiple things with fly is also interesting. The Phoenix Bomber is 175. Yeah, that's actually down from what it used to be. It used to be at 200 and something. I think it was 220. I think it used to be 230, something like that. It used to have a fairly substantial point value, and I thought that was fairly fair for the unit. Whereas like the Nightwing right now, I think the Nightwing is the same cost. The Nightwing might be the same cost, which really shouldn't, because the Phoenix should be more because it's got more guns and it has more flexibility and advantages for, you know, targeting things on the ground kind of thing, right? So yeah, I'm not sure if that points value really reflects the ability. I think they were just arbitrarily throwing points around. Vampire Hunter is 460, fairly pricey, but you're talking about a big platform that has a big scary gun on it, and yeah, even though it doesn't have its missile launchers, and it has guns on it that apparently you can't find, so I don't know. But thankfully, you know, really this edition of Warhammer 40,000, it is not really very hardcore on the what you see is what you get rule, so, you know, take solace in that, I guess. Vampire Raider, 1 model, 430. Yeah, so this one should be a little less points value. 30 points less. I'm okay with 30 points less, considering that this is a troop transport. Although, if you deploy out before this model moves, I think that's kind of interesting, considering that this thing is a fairly durable craft. Getting 30 troops into your enemy's face is going to be actually fairly advantageous. Maybe it even should cost the same as a Vampire Hunter, just because of that technical or tactical flexibility it has. In fact, maybe an argument can be made that a Vampire Hunter should cost less because it's just running around shooting those big guns. And the big gun isn't really that scary, not what it used to be. Because the Vampire Hunter really, like, that gun should be out in the same level as the Scorpion. the Scorpion tank. That gun should be identical to the Scorpion, but it's not. I mean, that's fine, but it should be identical in abilities and in profile. And then finally, the Wasp Assault Walkers, 95 per model. It's a little bit pricey, but for jump ability, for priciness, yeah, I'm not behind that point value assessment there. That one is, yeah, I'm not 100% behind that one. That's, I'm just going to call it now. That one's not very good. Alrighty, so that is it. Thank you guys for tuning into this and watching and listening and everything like that. Let me know if you agree, disagree, and what have you. Any of you still rocking your Phoenix models, your Vampire models, your Corsairs? Anybody out there? Do you guys think that the Bone Singer should be on par with the Spirits here? Should he work in conjunction with the Spirits here? Should he have a completely different battlefield role? Because kind of like the Spirits here, or the Bone Singer was more like a Tech Marine before, except he was for the Wraith units, right? So you could repair all Wraith construct models. So that's even the Wraith Knight. And I've played games in the past where, yeah, I was using my Bone Singer to keep my Wraith Knight, unbracketed. Every time it was taking a bunch of wounds, it would always push it back up into another bracket, just to keep it fighting more effectively, right? But anyway, let me know down below, and of course, feel free to drop a like and yeah, all the other stuff. Of course, memberships, go to waythebrush.com, all that stuff. You know the drill. You guys know the drill. Alrighty, I'll see you guys later. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you later. I'll see you later. Not the other Chris, though. The Chris one. Yeah, the other Chris, the one that was just talking, yeah, he won't see you. But I will. I'll see you. I'm not Chris, by the way.